The youth movement in full effect. JP Morosi on the inside corner. We got news on a Tuesday as we say good morning to you. A couple of big extensions for guys who have not yet seen time in the big leagues. Wow, it piques our interest. Good Tuesday morning to you. Your reaction?
Yes, Lauren, a trend across the major leagues.
It is.
And a good morning to you on this Tuesday. Let's begin with Colt Emerson and the Seattle Mariners. As Robert mentioned before the break, first reported by Robert Murray, that Emerson has the biggest contract ever signed by a player who is yet to debut in the major leagues, coming, of course, from the minor league system, an 8-year, $95 million deal. And I would say, you see that great left-handed swing that he's got. There is a clear path for him to play consistently now because of the J.P. Crawford injury to begin this season. There were some following the Mariners that thought that he might have made the club right out of spring training. Obviously, this will likely bring him to the major leagues. Right now, he had begun the year at AAA Tacoma. He'd already reached that spot last year. Here now is the extension leaderboard among all those who have come up through the minor leagues and not yet debuted at the time of their big-time payday. Emerson now the record holder, Shurio number 2, ahead of his now teammate Cooper Pratt, third on the list with the Milwaukee Brewers. And with Pratt, I'm a little curious to see, Lauren, once this all gets finalized, what Pratt's role is going to be, because it's a little more complicated for him in that the double play combination in Milwaukee seems to be Ortiz at short and Bryce Turang at second. Of course, we saw Turang and Ortiz both playing in the World Baseball Classic, which Adam McCalvy made a very good point in his story at MLB.com. The World Baseball Classic indirectly created the chance for Pratt to get more at-bats during the course of Major League camp because both Turang and Ortiz were away. And so now you get a chance to see what Pratt can do playing up the middle. Now, it's not necessarily a given, and we should know more probably in the next 24 hours if and when the actual call-up will happen. Of course, signing someone to a major league contract does not automatically mean they're in the major leagues. And one of the things that we should point out, Lauren, and it's a great point made by Nate Purinton in our research department and Eric as well, about the potential of the closing of this CBA and how that could potentially have effectuated more of these contracts, because just there's unknowns about what the next structure will be. And it really does advantage the agents in some ways and the players. You get your contract now, and then the future will take care of the future later on, but there is certainly incentive on all parties to get that contract signed now as you build a foundation for your major league career. So certainly it's been a busy 24 hours for Emerson and Pratt. Congratulations to both of them.
Congratulations indeed. And it's worked in the past. I remember when they signed Jackson Churio, they said it freed him up to play, and they're hoping that will be the case as well with these two youngsters. I covered the Yankees about a week ago. Aaron Boone said Carlos Rodon is soon. What does soon mean, and what do we know about Garrett Cole and his return? Any updates?
Right, Lauren. Well, it looks like for, at least in respect of Carlos Rodon, we could see him sometime before the end of May, and maybe even middle of May, depending on how things trend. And Garrett Cole is more likely a little bit later on, more of a May-June timetable for him. But the good news for the Yankees in both respects, live batting practices being thrown by both this week. There's a look at Rodon getting ever more comfortable. Of course, in his situation, it was loose bodies and a bone spur removed from his elbow. And there's a look at number 45 back on the mound. How Yankee fans are thrilled to see that picture. And now you think in the near term, Lauren, what you've seen right now, Cam Schlittler, of course, Ryan Weathers came over. He was the major addition for them in the course of the offseason. How about that bottom line there? Luis Gil, we have seen him start very important games for this team, option to AAA. So Gil is there as a potential option for them to come up probably sooner rather than later, one would assume. But very quickly, the Yankees could have 6 starters for 5 spots, or maybe even 7, depending how you look at it. So the time is on the Yankees' side. If they just get off to a solid start, and certainly that is the case despite the loss last night with the walk-off defeat in Seattle, that the Yankees having a stable beginning to their season, they'll get more pitching back quickly, Lauren. The Yankees, it's wise to buy stock in their chances based on the way their pitching is coming together, of course, in contrast to the injuries being sustained right now by the Toronto Blue Jays.
You had me at live batting practice. Yankees and Mariners tonight on TBS. Can't wait. JP Morosi on the inside.
I know the
corner.
host of that
Appreciate your
show.
time.
She's really good. She's really good. The host of that show is really
As
good.
always, she's your friend.